about crochet. Go ahead, Carolyn, tell us some things.
Well, a simple book like this you can get at Walmart or any place where they sell yarn, and it gives you some ideas on the kind of yarn and especially about the kind of needles and the numbers and letters and what they stand for. It also gives you all the stitches and the abbreviations for crocheting and the different kinds of stitches. So for these balls, we're just going to do a regular stitch. Just the regular crochet stitch.
And these are the gospel balls that we use for camping stick kids to tell the gospel story. So it uses a G hook.
A G hook, and you start with a yellow. And you make a loop around your finger. And then you put the hook in between, so you have a circle with that loop, and you pull that tight.
Can you make that loop one more time? Show us that loop again.
So just loop it around your finger so you have a circle. The extra piece goes under, and your hook goes through just like that. Great. So it looks like that. So then you pull that tight onto your needle. Now there's different ways to hold your needle. You can hold it like this or like a pencil. I tend to do it like a pencil. This hand you use to regulate how tight you hold your yarn as you crochet. So you can't have it really loose, but you don't want it so tight. So then you loop over, you pull that yarn through the hole. That's one. You do 2 crochet, single crochet, and now you're going to take your loop over, and you're going to go back into the hole, the first hole you made. Grab the yarn.
Yeah, actually, it's actually a better view.
2. Here's the first hole. Can you see that? So you're going in there, grabbing the yarn, pulling it through. That worked. Now you're going to grab the yarn and go through those 2. You have 2 on your hook now, and you're going to reduce that to 1. So you're going to do 6 of these in this same hole. This is 2. Go through. Now you're going to go through, grab 1. You've got 2 on there, pull it all the way through the 2. That's 3. You're going to go through the hole. The hole's getting bigger, which is okay. Pull it through. That's 4. That's 5. And there's 6. So you have 6 now in a ring. And you can pull that tight by just pulling this thread on the back so that hole will fill in. Okay, so that's your first round. So all you're going to do through this whole pattern is continue 4 rounds with yellow. But now I'm going to increase. So for my second round, I'm going to count, I have to do 2 in each one of these loops. Can you see those loops around there? So each one is going to get 2 single crochet. So I'm going to go in here. That's 1. I'm going to do another one in the same hole. 2. I'm going to count as I go. See, I'm going to go under here. Oops, missed. Grab your yarn, pull it through. That's 3. Same hole. 4. Move to the next one. That's 5. Same hole. That's 6. Go to the next one. That's 7. 8. Same hole. Next one. This is 9. 10. 11. 12. So we've increased from 6 stitches to 12 in those 2 rounds. Now from here, we are going to use a marker. You can buy different kinds of these because it's really hard to keep track of your circles going around. You'll end up in the wrong place. So this one you just put in here.
Do you put it in the last one that you
finished?
finished?
The last one that you just did.
Put it in that
Yep.
hole.
And it hooks together. So now I know the next time when I come back to this, I stop. And that starts my new circle. So
And how many times will you go around?
4 times with each color.
Okay.
So now I have to check my pattern because I've got 12 stitches on my hook now, on my circle. So now I have to go to my next row. So I did 2 yellow rows, now I'm going to do 3 and 4. So on this row it says you do 1 crochet and then you do an increase. So I'm going to do 1 crochet in the next hole. Do you see this where that V, it looks like a V? I'm going to go under that. I'm going to do 1, and then it says to increase. So in the next hole, I'm going to do 2.
And
I'm going to go
3.
all, no,
No?
the next one, I repeat that.
Oh, 1 and then.
So I do 1 and increase all the way around. So I'll end up with 18.
Ah, so we have 3 so far.
So I have 3. Now I'm going to do 1
in that hole
and
2
an increase.
in the
So I
next
do
one.
2 in this one.
And that one.
Then I do 1 and I do an increase. So it's a pattern you have to follow the pattern. You can't just crochet straight. And increase on this one. Same hole. I'm doing 1 and then an
1, 2.
increase.
It's already starting to look a little bit circular there.
And then 1. So I'm just going to increase my every row. This is an increase. Now when I get back to my hook, I am going to use that hole as my last one. So I'm going to do an increase here. Now I'm going to take off my hook. Oops, let me try that one again. There it is. I'm going to take off my counter marker and I'm going to move it underneath my hook, but so it catches right there in my last one. Okay, so I've got a circle started. Now my next one, my last row of yellow is a little more complicated. You do 1 increase, then you do 2 an increase, then you do a 3 increase. So you have to follow the pattern as you go. We have our circle, we have our 4 rows of yellow. Now we need to change to the black because that's our next color. So we cut and leave about 2 inches of the yellow. Cut that off. Now we're going to start again with the same thing. Make a circle around your finger, tuck that under, and you're going to grab that piece again and pull it tight. So now we have the yellow on and now we have the black on, but we've got to hook them together. So we're going to pull the black right through that hole of the yellow, and you're going to take your yellow string and pull it really tight. And now we're connected and we're ready to start our black row. So you will now look on your chart, and if you use a sticky note, you can lay it right underneath that row, and it's much easier than to follow that pattern. And then just move it down each time. So this time we should have 23 stitches on our circle, and we're going to increase to 28. And you'll keep increasing, and you'll change, you do 4 rows of black, then you're going to do the red. When you get to the 3rd row of red, you now have 40 stitches, and that's as many as you're going to put on. Now we're going to start decreasing. Okay, so we have done 3 rows of red, and we are at the even mark here. So I mark that so I know the beginning of that row, and this time I'm going to do 38, and then I'm going to do a decrease. So I'm going to go all the way around. I don't even have to count because I'm just going to do a single crochet in every hole. I can't hold it over there. All the way around. So as you can see with my finger like this, I'm controlling how tight or loose my yarn is by moving this finger back and forth. If it's too tight, I can move my finger closer. If it's too loose, I can tighten it up. So I'm going all the way around. If you see the hole right there, that's where I'm going in. Pull the loop through, pull it through both. So you're just making one knot after another all the way around. I'll show you how to connect one more time. So we're finished with the white. We're going to leave about 2 inches. And we're going to make a loop with our green, circle around. And you're going to pull that through. Pull it tight on your hook. Pull it through the white. And then pull the white tight. So you kind of want the knot of the green behind that, so it doesn't pull through. Okay, so we're going to do the first row of green. We're going to do 2 more rows, and then we're going to stop and do the stuffing. So this is a 4. I don't always mark the first row because I know that's my first hook.
Oh.
So I start using my marker after that first row. 2 green rows, now it says stuff ball now. And then we have 2 more rows after that. So when I get to here, I put my marker, be sure and get your marker on there. And I'm going to take my hook out because it's going to fall out anyway. So I pull out a big chunk of green, just like that. And I want to keep that outside the ball while I'm stuffing. So then you just grab your stuffing, chunks at a time, stuff it down in, and you decide how soft or how hard you want the ball. It'll take quite a bit, and kind of shape it as you go. Like that.
You could make a
And you
lot of
just-
balls out of this bag of stuffing.
Yes, you can. So, and I tell you what, older people like these because they use them for squeeze balls
Oh, yeah.
for their hands. So it depends on how hard or soft you might want it. Okay, I think we're getting about good here. Okay, now we've got our marker. Now I'm going to take the yarn, I'm going to pull it back through and get my hook back in there. And pull it tight. Okay, so I've got mine back to crocheting. Now it's a little tricky because you've got the ball already made. I'm going to go to the next to the last row, and this one's an easy one because you're going to decrease and then do 1, and then decrease and do 1 all the way around. So I'm going to go through 2 holes, pull it through, and I'm just going to do 1. Now I decrease again. Oops, missed that one. 2 holes, pull it through, and do 1.
Decrease always has to do with going through 2
holes, always.
Increase.
You make 2 in the same hole.
2 in the same hole.
So when I'm decreasing, I have 3 on there, and I pull it through all 3. I'm just going to do 1. I'm going to do a decrease again. So I'm making my ball really small at this end. Takes a little work because the ball makes it awkward. Let me move it down here again. Another decrease.
Let's see.
And 1. And I'm back to my marker. So I'm just going to do 1 more decrease in that same hole. Okay, I'm done with my marker because I've only got 1 more row to do. This one is a decrease all the way around. I'm going to do 4 decreases. So I've got hook, go in 1, go in 2, pull it through. Go in 1, and go in 2, pull it through. That's 2 decreases. I'm going to do 4 altogether. You can do 5 if you feel better about it. closing it up. Oops, sorry. It does get awkward at this point.
Because it's
So,
getting tighter.
Mom might have to help this part.
Mhm.
That's 3. I'm going to do one more. And don't worry about the hole being too big or too small, because I'll show you how you close it.
Okay, we're at the end.
And my circle's all done. I'm going to pull out a big chunk again, 5 or 6 inches. I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to get rid of that. So now I have this. Now I take a darning needle, which has a big eye. That's what you want to put the thread in easily. And that one didn't go in easily. Let me try that again. I'm probably going to have to cut that off.
Yeah, once it
Do that
frays,
one
it's
again.
hard to.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. So now I've got my thread on here. I'm going to just stick it through any loop. It doesn't matter. Just your last ones. You're going to go all the way around. Do it about 3 or 4 times. Right in the end, and that pulls that tight. Now what you do with this, you don't want this thread sticking out here. So just take it and stick it right through the ball. And it'll come out someplace. And then you just trim that off. So you don't have, it'll just disappear inside.
There it is.
And there you are.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Hey everyone, this is Mrs. Steele. I hope you had a great time learning how to make our 5-color knit balls. If you want to know the story of the 5 colors, you can go to our webpage www.campingstickkids.org and download the 5-color story. Don't forget to come on over to our YouTube channel and find our Draw It with Mrs. Steele series. And we have a new podcast, the Camping Stick Kids Podcast. It premieres on April 16th, 2024. You can find it on Podbean, Spotify, and here on our YouTube channel. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.